Marvel. I'm
All right.
joined once again with I
Nice.
joined with overdue Bobcat 50, and then of course Mr. Marvel
Gee.
himself, Albert, with all that stuff.
Is that a Captain
Um,
Marvel jacket?
I think
Is
so.
Oh Lord.
So this is gonna be a spoiler.
Nice.
This
That's
is gonna be a
super
spoiler
tight.
discussion. Oh man, this is gonna be a spoiler discussion. And damn, Albert, we got heated last night, dude.
No, we were just talking. It's just a conversation.
Listen, man, spoilers. So, like,
What are we talking first?
we're talking Miss Marvel. We're gonna talk Miss Marvel. We're gonna talk Miss Marvel. That's what we're gonna do today.
All right.
Listen, like when this show like popped off, like I liked it. The last maybe like the first 3 episodes I liked. I like Kamala. I still like her. I think it's a little different than like when it comes to visions, visionary kind of scenes and all that stuff. And then they kind of like it was like a Scott Pilgrim kind of feel to it. And then they kind of like lean out of that once like you get the last like 3 episodes. So my main problem with the series, if you guys haven't really already can tell, I really thought the last 3 episodes were terrible. But there is some good things to like about the series, so I do like some things about it. I think I you know what, I don't hate Miss Marvel. I actually like her, and I'm not excited with her with Captain Marvel. We saw the big old cameo at the end, but like her as a character, I don't know if they're gonna do a season 2, guys. Like the ratings on this show were terrible, like embarrassing terrible. I don't know if Kevin Feige says let's go another season 2 on it, but I'm pretty sure Miss Marvel is going to be included with a lot of like the Young Avengers, and I don't think she's going to be in the X-Men. I think that was just a wink, wink, nod, nod. I was listening to Grace Randolph's video, and she was on a rant saying like this doesn't make sense. Like she's gonna be on the X-Men. Why would you like have the first X-Men? Like just because you're a mutant, which they showcased this in in the finale, doesn't mean you're gonna be an X-Men. It just means you're a mutant. There's a lot of mutants that are not X-Men. So I think it's just like to tell audiences, yes, there is mutants now. Now it's confirmed there's mutants, and maybe we just haven't seen them just yet. So what did you guys think of the series, and what do you guys think about that whole, twist, I guess you could say, at the end?
I didn't care for
uh,
the twist too much. I feel I had gotten that spoiled for me. I'm
Really?
surprised we didn't get the Captain Marvel spoiled for me. That one was shocking to me.
Where'd you find the
Um,
spoilers on the mutants?
I didn't see the episode at midnight. I saw it
Oh, the
in the
next day.
evening the
Oh,
next day.
okay.
So that's why I was like on Twitter and I saw people talking about like, oh,
Twitter's
they
still a
dropped,
thing.
yeah. So
Sometimes
I
I'm
was
just
on
like, I
there,
don't know. Yeah.
and all I get on there is Marvel related stuff and music related stuff. So
it's my Instagram.
I was still surprised to see a spoiler, but yeah, I saw people talking about that, and I thought it was gonna be something more. I thought they were legit gonna say mutants, but I saw because I all I saw was they said the M word and the X-Men theme played.
They're
If I
using
hadn't
that to
read,
death, bro. They're
if I
using that
hadn't
'90s X-Men
if I
theme to
hadn't
death.
read that they used that X-Men thing in the show, I wouldn't have known that was that because it was so short. And it like
Yeah.
I barely even knowing I barely was like, oh wow, that's it. So I thought it was blown out of proportion. I thought people were getting too hyped over that. So when I was just let down, I was like, oh, not let down because I didn't. I thought it was good just the way they did it. Anything more because when it was revealed, it was like it got so serious. I was like, damn, like Bruno got all serious for a second, and then he said it, and then that was that. But yeah, all they said was that he's like, oh, there's something in your genes. It's like a mutation, and then that was that, right? So it's interesting. She's not the first mutant we've seen. Wanda is a mutant as well.
Well, isn't in the
I would say.
MCU? Wasn't she created by the Stone? It wasn't that how the MCU
Well,
brought her into
the
it?
way I see it is that the Bengal activated Kamala's mutation, the
Mm.
Stone activated Wanda's mutation.
Okay.
That's how
Oh,
I'm
that's a good
seeing it.
one. That's a
Okay. I
good
never thought
one.
about that. That's okay.
Yeah, because they said that her family members don't have that mutation. She's the one that
Yeah.
has that mutation, and
And
that's a good
in
theory. Yeah.
WandaVision, it shows you that she stopped the bomb with her magic powers. So like she used it before, but it wasn't until the Infinity Stone that. And that's probably why when they were experimenting with people with the stone in Age of Ultron, it didn't work on like other people until Pietro and Wanda because they already had the mutant gene in them. So it just
Yeah,
acted on that.
that's
So
a
that's what I
big
was thinking.
possibility.
I
That's a
never
good
thought
one.
about that.
No, I didn't think about that one either. That's
Wow.
really and then
Okay.
it could still the whole theory was Wanda is going to be the one that creates, mutants and
Mhm.
X-Men. I mean, we thought that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness maybe she brings the Fox mutants over to what kind of. I mean, we did get Xavier. But that's a good one. No, I didn't even really think about that one. That's a really good one.
Monica and Carol might be mutants too. I mean,
I think
Captain Marvel
Monica
got
for
her.
sure. Because
Yeah.
that's what I think we all thought when we
Mhm.
saw that episode, because she
Mhm.
goes into what the kind of, I can call it the realm, but you just see those
The
powers
Hex.
just manifest. Yeah, the hex. Yeah, the hex. Yeah.
Yeah, she went through
Yeah.
it. She went through it 3 times, and the third time she forced herself through it, and that's when her X gene manifested. Um, Carol is the same as Wanda. She got her powers from a stone. I don't know if they'll say she's a mutant or if it was just since the stone exploded next to her, something else. But it's going to be interesting to see who they confirm are mutants that we've been seeing for years and who they tell us like aren't mutants. So
Well, I've been hearing that they could actually, maybe Xavier School is happening and nobody knows about it. They're saying maybe it's in LA instead of New York.
yeah,
It could still be a
I
secret.
hope
It's
so.
supposed to be a secret school for the gifted, so it could
Mhm.
be still hidden.
Could be in
What?
the
Give me your 2 cents, Chase. What do you think about all this?
So first thoughts on the show. I think I really liked the show. Overall, I enjoyed it. I don't think the last 3 episodes brought me down. I do feel like that kind of it switched in the last 3 episodes, and we didn't get as much of the kind of quirkiness and the art style that the first 3 episodes kind of carried, which I wish I could have gotten a little more of that. It went to more the history of her and the realm of all that stuff, which I don't find as interesting. But I overall enjoyed the show. I really did I love Miss Marvel. I thought she was great. The young actress who played her did an awesome job. Was relatable. Was really like just was so fun and like her little quirky ways and stuff like that. I love the family dynamic between her and her mother. Her dad was awesome. Her brother, her friends. Like I just liked the dynamic she had with the rest of the cast. So I really did like overall. I enjoyed the show. It's definitely still like nothing stellar. It's just kind of your similar like your basic Marvel TV show. So it's like nothing that blows me out of the way. But it was definitely a surprise considering I didn't think much of this show going into it. I wasn't even going to watch it at first because I didn't think it looked interesting, but it ended up being better than I thought. And I'm not surprised that it's not getting views because everyone that I've talked to who are Marvel fans, they're not watching it because they're like, oh, it just looks like some Disney Channel show and stuff like that.
Like the next day, like reviews, or what was the last one? Moon Knight. Like Moon Knight was like you had these big YouTubers reviews right away. The Angry Joes, all that, but nobody really cares about Miss Marvel, so it's not happening right away. There's no buzz, there's no water cool. I mean, the mutants part.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you. Yeah.
The mutants got me to watch that episode because it was like I was kind of lacking on it because I was watching anime, and then when I got the leak I think it was you posting on your Facebook page that there's the ending of Miss Marvel explained and it showed Professor Xavier. I'm like, are they gonna bring in mutants at the end of this series? So I was like, I have to watch the final 2 episodes. I went and watched it for
dude, that threw me for a loop though. I'm not gonna lie, that threw me for a loop. Like I didn't expect like the X-Men reference or the mutant reference
in
Miss Marvel. I expected more cosmic, of course, Captain Marvel, maybe Skrulls still, the Secret Invasion, but not mutants.
I don't think too much of it. Because we've had our first introduction to mutants in the MCU with Professor Xavier in Doctor Strange. So it was our first like, hey, there are mutants somewhere in the universe, in another universe, and that means this is now here. Like at some point, the MCU will probably ingest, the X-Men and mutants in some way. It kind of feels like a hint to how it's going to happen. Of people already have the mutation and somehow it's going to awaken inside them, and that again, he was saying, the stone made Wanda's awake, hers, Captain Marvel, the Bengal whatever made her awaken hers. So there might be something that awakens everyone's mutant genes in the show. Yeah. or like you said, it could be a secret and there already could be people out there. So I think this is just a small hint. I just don't feel her being an X-Men or going them pushing her to be an X-Men or anything like that, or being involved with the X-Men. I think this was just a simple little hint to how they're going to bring in the X-Men and how they're going to come into this universe.
Yeah, I don't expect her being an X-Men, I expect they did the 90s theme for Doctor Strange. They've done the 90s theme for Miss Marvel. So what makes me think is they're really pushing the 90s animated series, which is coming back with another season. So what I'm thinking is that we might get a live adaptation of the 90s, like the Gambit, the Beast, the Wolverine, that team, with Jean. So I don't think Miss Marvel necessarily is going to be in the X-Men, but I mean, it's an interesting way, I guess, to introduce it. It really felt flat to me a little bit. I'm not really excited, maybe, but I think maybe not necessarily because it was the Miss Marvel series that they did it. It's because we all expect it. We're all expecting mutants to come in at some point, X-Men to come in. We're waiting for Fantastic Four first. So it's not. That's what sucks when I was watching Thor: Love and Thunder. And I was thinking, you know what? Maybe this movie could have been better if I didn't see trailers, if I didn't see I didn't see no leaks on it, but with general Marvel movies, if I didn't see leaks or anything like that, or Spider-Man No Way Home, I would have loved Spider-Man No Way Home if I didn't see stuff on my feed and everything. So the surprise and us, knowing that X-Men is going to come in, it just doesn't excite me. It's going to excite me when I actually see people cast as characters. Before we get into Captain Marvel and her whole thing, I do want to point out the positives of this series, because there is positives. I really like the family dynamic. I like the the religion aspect of being there's a lot of things in there that I like, of her religion and her families, and just really presenting that, right? And then the diversity. See, this is a kind of a show that I get on board with when it comes to diversity, because this is stuff I don't really know about and I haven't seen. So that's the kind of stuff I like. I think the core group, like you said, Chase, the family, herself, the friends are great. I think they're all great. I think once we move away from that and we got to, was it Pakistan? Or it was where the introduction of the Red Daggers, I think that's where it fell apart. And I think going back to the past, it fell apart. When it comes to a series, I know there's this big thing about, the CGI and them working overtime and the hostile environment of Marvel. Dude, they need to do something. Kevin Feige, the head of Disney, Bob, was it Bob something, Chapek? Yes. They need to really look at this situation, because this has been a problem for Phase 4. This CGI has not been good, and they're trying to pump these out because of the pandemic. We didn't have anything. Now they're trying to get these out so they can meet a deadline. Dude, you gotta keep pushing stuff back if you're not gonna be able to finish all these CGI moments. Because even Thor: Love and Thunder, there was some bad CGI in there, and I know Taika Waititi and Tessa Thompson were dissecting the scene, and he was making fun of his own. I think it was a Korg was in the scene, and they were making fun of how bad it is. You guys got to understand, man, that these CGI, these artists that are doing all these effects and stuff, they're like manga artists. They're getting pushed by these companies, and they have a contract. So if they go, if the studio or the deadline isn't met, they have to do all this, continue to do the special effects, and they don't really get paid for it because their contract states like it has to meet this deadline, and sometimes that's
Right.
impossible. So I'm frustrated because this was, I think, what really, Albert, this is one thing that I wanted to talk about, man. The CGI like is really bad in this series. Like it's not, I don't know if it's like She-Hulk trailer bad, but the one particular scene in the finale, which I was like, dude, this is taking me out of it, is when she's jumping from her powers to powers, and you could really tell that she's just a CGI figure. Dude, that was taking me out a lot of the series. But like I said, when it went back to the friends and it went back to the core of her, like maybe learning some of her powers, and then I just felt like it was a cool little high school kind of, like one of those animated Spider-Man high school shows, you know, and he's in high school and he's doing adventures and stuff. So I like that. But when it got to those final 3 episodes, that's what let me down. So that's how I feel about overall kind of the series. Its problems, but it also has some good stuff on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I told you in the beginning that with this show, I didn't really care about the action too much, and after finishing it, even the last episode, the action, like I didn't care too much about. What made me like it so much, and like overshadows the action scenes, was the story for me and the characters, and how pretty much I didn't hate any of the characters. You know, they were all of the main characters. They're all likable. The villain, the mom of Cameron, I forgot her name. Her and like all the other, I forgot to pronounce it, but like the Digin people, like I didn't care about them, right? But the damage control people I thought were cool because we had seen them before. They're not fleshed out, but you know what? They're we had seen them in Spider-Man. Like we already know that the damage control exists. We saw them in the opening of Spider-Man 2. Actually, not we saw them in the last one too, but they were in the opening of Spider-Man 2. Oh no, the first one, the very first one.
The very first one.
Homecoming?
Yeah, the very first one, Homecoming. They're talking
I don't
to.
even remember.
They were talking to Vulture, and that shows you that they were there since 2012 because that. That took place in 2012. So, like we've seen them a bit, right? So we're finally seeing them more, and I thought it was cool because I feel like we should see more of the damage control. And it's not that they're bad people; it's just that
they're terrible at their job.
They're really bad.
That girl was,
They're really
like
bad.
there's no reason why she should have what's it called, gone against the other guy's orders. But whatever. But like I thought it was a good first, because I thought those guys were good first villains for Kamala. Like I didn't want to see her get thrown into space right away. If they had introduced her just right away into the Marvels and she's out here like trying to save the world, trying to save the galaxy, I mean, like down, like they really just threw her in there. But now she's right here, just pretty much trying to save her friend Kamran, right? That was pretty much the whole last episode. Is she's trying to get her friend safe. But I didn't care about the action scenes really. Her powers, I do like them. The CGI with her powers, I didn't really like. I can't say that it was horrible, but with Kamran's powers, I don't know if it's because it was different color, but that yellow and green that he was producing, that to me did look bad. But all I can think of is in their universe, that power is from an alternate dimension. So maybe that's why it looks weird, right? For us, we know it's because CGI people are being overworked. But in their universe, you could say like, oh yeah, it's from a different dimension. That's why it looks otherworldly. But yeah, the characters, the storytelling, everything but the action, like carried the show for me. The action was just generic. That's why in Pakistan, like that chase sequence, I won't lie to you, I was on my phone during that part. And then once they got back to the storytelling, I was watching again. The Red Daggers, I don't care about them, but I think it was important to introduce them so that when we see them again later, you know, they could hopefully by then they'll have something more interesting. But yeah, overall I like the show a lot. One of the better Disney Plus shows, just because whenever there was storytelling, I was intrigued. And also I didn't know about the Indian and Pakistan partition, all that. Like honestly, for a second, I thought they were making that up until I
No, it's
googled it.
real.
So
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
about
I
that
didn't know
either.
about that, and I'm glad that he
Okay.
showed that. My world history classes definitely failed me because we didn't even touch on that. But
Well,
yeah,
they always got to
Once
focus
talked
on the
about you.
American stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rome
Yep,
and
yep.
all that stuff. Yeah.
But that was cool. I didn't know that they used to be like one country, and like it made sense when I was watching it. I was like, but yeah. So I like that we got to a little history lesson in that. But yeah, the standout to me definitely Kamala and her family. I love that at the end the family knows that they like support her. It's not. It's like the opposite of Peter Parker, right? Peter Parker, the whole thing is because I like to compare it to Peter Parker just because they're both high schoolers, and it's like the only other
Yeah.
high schooler that we know of in the MCU. Sure, they introduced America Chavez, but
She has
I
no
don't know.
school.
She wasn't
She has
much
no
in
Yeah.
school,
school.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just
Yeah.
young. So I was just thinking of Peter, and I was like, oh, it's cool because Peter's whole thing is no one can know. And yeah, people find out, but her whole thing was like she kept it secret at first, but
Yeah.
she opened up to her parents. You saw her; she was right there, and she
Yeah.
told them in the living room or whatever. But yeah, and I'll just say one thing that I really liked. I saw someone point it out. It's cool that she got her costume from her mom and her name from her dad, Miss Marvel. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, that just shows you how important her parents are.
Was the message at the beginning of the episode for the bomb scene? What message was that?
There was a message like in that Obi-Wan had that said some content might not be suitable for viewers. I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
just because there were like guns at school. I think it was more.
Guns.
Okay.
School,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Bomb
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I honestly thought it was for like the flashing of like some scenes or something like that. Now people can
Yeah.
get like yeah.
Yeah.
Chase, got anything to add on that one?
I mean, yeah. Overall, the CGI is bad. Marvel has had an issue with it in this phase, definitely. Because I mean, I've told you the other day, the stat is there's almost been more hours of Marvel, both television and movie combined. There's been more hours of Marvel film within this phase than the first three phases combined. Like we're almost there on that.
After
They've pumped
Miss
out
Marvel,
so much. Yeah.
there's they just reached 100 hours.
That's insane. Yeah. So there's been so
Mhm.
much Marvel that they've pushed out, and it's so blatantly obvious in a lot of their movies. Even the one we like, even the one I like Doctor Strange, where there's bad CGI in scenes. Like it's been such a big issue for them this year. They're not taking their time with developing some of their stuff. They're kind of just pumping out, especially with the shows. Man, they want those out. They want them gone. They want them out there. She-Hulk needs to have like at least 3 more years before that's ready. Like
That's a CGI show that needs to have good CGI because of the Hulk. Yeah,
it needs like 3 or 4 years. It needs time. But this one, like for me, yeah, it's when I first watched it, I was like, even like when she first started getting her powers, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in this more for the family, like Albert said, like for the family aspect and stuff like that, and the action, because the action was just obvious it wasn't going to be stellar, and which is you wish it would be better. Now I do like how she did, like again the CGI not being great, but I do like how there's like really good scenes of her protecting people and the way she does it and the way she like protected that one damage control agent from the guy from him killing the damage control agent who was trying to get him. Like I do like how they showed off as a hero, like the action she did and the way she did things. I will say on the fact of how her comparison to Peter Parker, I do feel that with her watching the show. It's that Peter Parker, Stanley always says he puts the mask on, he's completely covered so that anyone believes that they can be a hero too. And it's like anyone could be under that mask. It's not, it doesn't matter. It can be anyone. And Kamala, in a different sense, being of a different nationality and a different race than your common superhero, and being female and all that stuff, it does have that more of a sense of showing like, hey, yeah, anyone could be a superhero. And I think it really did represent that very well. Yeah, CGI was bad. The villain sucked. The red whatever did not care about one bit at all. The history lessons were cool. Yeah, I can't tell you who the hell the guy with the red scarf on his face was.
I can't
I was like,
remember. Yeah, I can't.
I
even remember.
generally, and I wasn't interested in that one guy dying. Like I honestly forgot he died.
Yeah, and there's this one scene where he's like, "Oh, he'd be proud of you." Like you barely met him for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or
So
like
it's
an
just
hour, at best.
Yeah,
Um,
it was but it was overall I
Um,
enjoyed what the family aspect of it. That's what I was hoping to get. It deviated from that a little bit in the last 3 episodes. We did have to get that cool little montage planning moment where they planned out how they're going to do their school, fight against them at the school, which I thought was like really fun. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
all right. So I'm about to go in on this real quick. So this is like in the bottom for me. Like this is listen, Marvel shows they haven't been god awful. They haven't been god awful. Even like Falcon and Winter Soldier hasn't been god awful because I've seen god awful
Yeah.
shows. That's why I don't
Yeah.
continue watch those shows. But it's up there with like it is like right there when it comes to like the character development on a lot of these like characters with Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? And then with the clunkiness of like because with What If there was some solid episodes, but then there were some really bad episodes. That's what I felt like
Yeah.
with Miss Marvel. The thing that I compare this with Falcon and the Winter Soldier is you need good villains. That is rule writing 101. If you don't have compelling villains to match your protagonist, then what is the point? Like just to see her become this hero, that's cool and all, but I want to see her overcome the villains. And Albert, you touched upon that Damage Control are villains. I don't really consider them villains because they're very vanilla. We don't really know them.
They're antagonists. I said antagonists. I chose my
would
words carefully when I said that to you yesterday.
Antagonists.
But
Okay, they're
today,
antagonists.
right now, earlier I said villains, but antagonists.
Antagonists. They're really bad. Like they have all the Dinjin in the one episode, and they have them. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They have them like on
Yeah.
the pole, and they escape, and it's so bad. But
Yeah.
but the Dinjin, so Comrade, right? Comrade's mom is supposed to be. It was so weird. It was so weird because she was being nice to her at first, and then she does a switch. And we see the past, how she killed what's her name, Albert? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember her name?
Captain
Ashta.
Marvel. I mean,
Ashta.
yeah,
Great grandma.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Yeah, great grandma. Dude, these villains were so bad. Like I think they're worse than the Flag Smashers because the Flag Smashers I could kind of remember like the main one's name, and I could also remember like their cause. But with these guys, the Dinjins, like they were really forgettable. They were really, really bad. Like it was just overall bad. I can't really forgive. I can't really forgive the terribleness of the writing when it came to the villains. Like it's just like what was going on there? Like what was going on there? I don't. So Comrade, the finale episode, right? The whole big emotional thing is my mom's dead, right? Him being revealed and then him kind of losing it. Why would I care? I don't care. Like she literally left him there. There was no scenes really with those two, really heart to heart. It was like it's kind of like the Aunt May and Peter Parker situation that I had an issue with too. Like if we would have got that one scene, with those two having a heart to heart, you really don't care about these villains or Comrade's story because Comrade's story is so lined up with his mom and her ambition. But it just doesn't. It feels like nothing. Like you're really, like you said, Albert, like you said, Chase. The main thing about this series is Kamala and her family. That's the big draw. That's the big thing why we stick around. We actually like Kamala.
Yeah.
But think about it, guys. Marvel has done how many shows already? They've done phases, tons. We just said 100 hours worth of Marvel movies and TV shows. Yet they still cannot get these shows character developments, stories, They can't get them right. They can't get the pacing right. They can't get the CGI right. Like, this is unacceptable. Like, you guys should be killing it. How does Netflix Daredevil do better than you when you already?
They're gonna ruin Daredevil.
They're gonna
That's my
ruin
fear.
Daredevil. They're gonna ruin it.
Daredevil didn't have CGI that much though.
Yeah, that's true.
And they still killed it. I don't like Kamala.
I thought you were talking about the CGI. My bad.
No, I'm talking about the storytelling. The storytelling is what, like, that's all you really need. That's all you really need. But Kamala's powers, I try to give it a chance. I try to see if I like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like her. I agree with everybody. Like, her original powers in the comics, like, they do have aspects of it. Like in the finale, they showed her growing. They showed the arm stretching.
Right.
But it might be the color. It might be just the look of it. It looks very bland to me. It looks like a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers kind of power that she has.
Do you think it'll look different when she gets the second bangle? Do you think anything will happen?
I think they might look different when they have the money of the actual Marvel movie.
What I hear is Captain Marvel might get that second bangle.
Well, that's what I heard. That's how they switch. But I don't think Captain Marvel's gonna keep the second bangle. I'm pretty sure she'll probably give it to Kamala.
Maybe, yeah, probably. Like, I don't like the powers. I did not feel the powers, and that was the one thing I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't like about the finale. But I just think that, with Marvel and how big it is and how much money it's made and how everybody we always talk so wonderfully of Marvel. Yeah. They're dropping the ball on these shows. Like, these shows are just like, they're not classics. They're not masterpieces. They're not something that, like, other shows are running loops around them. And it's crazy because, like, Disney has all this money. They're just not taking their time. Another issue is the pacing. And I agree with a lot of people when they say that Marvel needs to stop with the 6-episode platform and do the 8, at least 8, to let it stretch out and breathe, because that's the problem with the last 3 episodes is that they go completely different somewhere else, and they're telling this history and all that stuff. Then we come back and we have to get everybody back in the episode. Like, when the chick that Miss Marvel saves happens to be at the school, and they happen to need her viewers. And how many times have you seen that where somebody has, like, The Boys just did it, where, like, they have, like, she's videoed everything saying, come over here, they're chasing me. I'm so tired of it. Maybe it's because I've seen way too much media, too much shows, too much movies, but that's just how I am. And I just want something. If you're going to do something like, the same thing, make it unique, execute it well. And I just don't think the series did. So that was my little rant, but I'm going to say that if they did a season 2 of Miss Marvel, I would still watch, because I said in the beginning of the series, it's the first step, and you could tell the actress who plays Kamala, sometimes it's not that great in her acting, but then sometimes she nails it. I think she's going to own the role as she continues playing Miss Marvel, and I think she's going to get stronger. It's kind of like, every actor who steps into the role and really gets the feel of it, like Tom Holland, he's Spider-Man. He knows what goes into that character. Doctor Strange, Cumberbatch knows what goes into that character. So, Miss Marvel, for me, definitely was good in the first 3 episodes, and then just completely fell apart in the last 3. For my ranking, I would put it. What's the word? When would he say was the worst one? Was it Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I do Falcon and Winter Soldier. Personally,
you finally watched the Chase? You ended up watching it?
I still haven't watched the finals. That's the one Marvel thing I haven't watched. It's that final episode. Yeah.
To me, that one is also, I would say,
I'm so bored of it.
I don't want to say the worst, but to me, the least interesting show that I've seen from the Marvel Disney Plus shows
was What If better than that?
Was What If better than Falcon?
Yeah.
I was more entertained from What If than Falcon.
So I'll put this. It's not the worst. I don't think Miss Marvel's the worst, because there's a lot of good stuff in it. Like, there's a really good stuff in it. But it's right there with What If. It's right there with What If. I just didn't love it. I only hated the last 3 episodes. I just really that last episode I just wanted to be over with. I'm like, this is sometimes it's not for you. But the character, I'm glad that I like the character. I don't love her. I don't think she's very I'm not gonna go buy statues and pops of her, but
No.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, Miss Marvel's in this new movie. Like, nah, like I want to see, with Captain Marvel's, maybe she could bring some, or the Marvels, maybe she could bring something to the table. So
Actual personality. Yeah, very cool.
yeah, exactly.
Finally get a Marvel
Well,
thing.
here's the thing.
You know,
Okay, so
personality.
where would you guys put this on your ranking? And then let's go into the Captain Marvel cameo so we could finish it off there.
Okay. I'll go. So like ranking when it comes to ranking Marvel shows, I mean, I always put like Loki and probably Loki and Moon Knight as like the top tier kind of two.
I totally forgot we had
Yeah.
Moon Knight this year.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
Moon Knight. The Moon Knight.
That's good.
I,
That's good.
I'll put this down with like, so my bottom is of course Falcon Winter Soldier, and then I kind of go like Hawkeye, and which I liked Hawkeye. There's kind of a big gap between that and Hawkeye, so I go like around Hawkeye, maybe just above Hawkeye. I don't know. I really love Haley Steinfeld, so maybe just below Hawkeye. I love
This
Haley
show below Hawkeye?
Huh?
You said this show Miss Marvel right below Hawkeye?
Probably.
Alright.
Like I said, I like this show a lot, but overall, like
So,
It's
wait,
kind of
you
like-
haven't
it's
said
not-
WandaVision yet?
WandaVision's above it. The WandaVision's above for those for me.
All right.
Just because I like unique and different. And I feel like WandaVision brought something unique and different, while I feel like Hawkeye and Miss Marvel were more just kind of fun little shows to watch. Even though WandaVision falls off at the end, that's why it's probably just above these ones.
So let me get this right. You said Loki, Moon Knight,
So, Moon Knight.
Wanda.
I'll probably go WandaVision, yeah, as my third.
And then Hawkeye?
I gotta do What If in there somewhere. I'll go Hawkeye. No, I'll go Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, What If, and then
Falcon?
Falcon.
Yeah. There's only
put it
7
above.
shows, right? We're not missing one?
I think that's all of them. Yeah, I was kind of looking here to try to. I had forgotten
I
about.
think that's
Hawkeye
all of them.
here.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, 5 last year, 2 this year so far. Yep.
Guys, we're getting an I Am Groot show. I totally did not know that.
Yeah, that's gonna be shorts though. They're gonna be like
Oh, okay.
5-minute, 10-minute
It's
episodes.
kind of like the
Um,
Baymax thing that's up on the Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna count that as an actual show, I think, but
Yeah.
I can give you my rankings right now.
Yeah, let's get
So-
your rankings, Albert.
For about a year now, I've been struggling with WandaVision and Loki.
Okay.
The answer can change every month, but right now I'll say Loki number 1.
No.
I think Loki
WandaVision
was a
number
solid
2.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
WandaVision number 2. This is where it's gonna get spicy.
Yeah,
Miss Marvel number 3
Over Moon Knight, bro.
over
Over
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight had at least a compelling villain, like a decent villain to it. Was interesting, a more emotion.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke was good.
Number 4 Hawkeye.
They ruined Kingpin, bro.
They
They
ruined.
ruined
I
Kingpin.
can't- That's the one that I
Everything
can't
bef-
forgive.
Everything before that I like. They didn't
It
even
was
need
a lot.
Kingpin. I don't know why they put
It was
Kingpin
a
in
lot
there.
of fun. It was
They
a
just
lot
put
of
Kingpin in there just to put Kingpin in there. But Hawkeye number 4.
Well, to set up Echo. Remember?
fun. Oh god,
Yeah.
we're getting an Echo show.
I know. I know. Continue on.
5.
Sorry.
Number 5 Moon Knight. Number 6 What If. Number 7 Falcon.
Slander against Moon Knight.
Number 7 is an empty spot. Number 8 Falcon.
I like it.
Loki, WandaVision, Moon Knight.
Respect.
I didn't really like Hawkeye that much, but there was some good stuff in there. So Hawkeye,
It's fun.
What If, Miss Marvel, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Dude, Falcon and Winter Soldier was bad, man. Like that was it's bad because it had so much potential to be such a badass show.
Yeah.
and it was.
Let me
terrible.
say though, Loki and WandaVision on a different level than anything else. I'd say that is as high as they can
See,
go.
For me, I
And
put
then,
Moon Knight and Loki together, and then tier down goes WandaVision.
yeah, tier down pretty much everything else, and then the next tier down, nothing. The next tier down, Falcon.
But
From
let's say this about I'll say this about Marvel shows. As much as I really loved watching Loki and Moon Knight and even WandaVision and stuff, and I've enjoyed watching the shows overall. If you're doing like a tier list of TV shows and all the shows I've watched, it's maybe like in the middle. Like Loki only reaches like the middle for me out of like TV shows I've watched in my life. You know, there's been
Oh, you
nothing
talking
that
about all
popped up.
time? Oh, dude, none of these
Yeah,
shows.
yeah,
are
it's
on
like
there.
none of these shows reach high. And
Or,
that is
nah.
something that's really hard. It's like I wish one of these shows would break out and really get
I would even say like Daredevil's not even in my top 10. Like it's like outside of it.
Well,
like the
yeah,
Netflix
no,
Daredevil.
I wouldn't put it in top 10, but
Like
it's at least something that I put towards the top of a tier list. You know, like if you got A, S, A, B, C, D, or whatever,
Oh,
it's probably
okay, yeah.
it's probably in like A area. You know,
Mhm.
I can't put it. Yeah, if I'm making it in that kind of sense. Yeah.
For me, it's up there. The only ones that I would like put up there, Loki, WandaVision,
Mhm.
like. But if we're talking like my all-time favorite shows, I don't know. Probably go Game of Thrones, Walking Dead,
Don't you put that Game of Thrones out
Jeez.
there?
Breaking Bad.
Or
You
not
need to
that.
Stop with that Game of Thrones shit.
One of those shows had a good ending.
Yeah. One of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
I know. I love the way Game of Thrones ended too.
God,
Let's not get into that, bro. I had like
We're
a
not
30-minute
getting into that.
conversation.
I gotta watch
But,
Jon Snow first.
Yeah, I
Let's see.
What happened?
KT says thoughts on Ironheart.
Honestly,
I don't care about Ironheart. I hope
Wait,
Black
that's
Panther
super
makes
hard.
me care about her.
Yeah, she's supposed to. They had the
Oh,
the suit over there at promoting. I think it was a promotion. She's gonna be
Yep.
in Black Panther. You're getting Ironheart there, and then she might be in the Marvels. She might make an appearance in the Marvels.
I don't see why.
She's coming. She
She's
has her
coming.
own series coming.
Nothing we can do.
Yeah,
But
she's
yeah,
coming.
I don't care about her. But like I said, I hope Black Panther makes me care about her.
A lot of these characters, including Miss Marvel in the comics, are not very popular characters. Captain Marvel's not very popular. Miss Marvel's not very popular. Ironheart, I don't think is that
She's
popular.
so new. Is it because she's so new?
Yeah,
she's
she's
like
very
within the
new.
last 10 years she came
They-
out.
This
Very
just
fresh.
hasn't been any like traction on these guys. Well, that's no excuse because Miles Morales came out and he's a badass. Because everybody
Yeah.
loves Spider-Man, just in general.
Yeah, that's what
like I
I'd
love
say. If you
2099. and
That's the only way. Like, yeah, you're gonna survive now is just throw
or
more
you know,
Spider-Man.
I do like the concept of Lady Thor or Mighty Thor, but they just really
Yeah.
ruined. I thought
You know,
They
could-
ruined
the
nothing.
potential. Ruined the
Hey,
potential right there.
They ruined
little bit.
nothing.
Going back a little bit to the mutants thing, I think one thing that Marvel needs to take its time on when it comes is the X-Men, because the X-Men
They absolutely.
it can be its whole separate thing where you're having just tons of movies and spin-offs for it because it's already done that before. You can do that again, so it can become Marvel's next, and that could also suck because if they add X-Men and all like this, they can add so many spin-offs to so many different X-Men characters. That's just going to bring more Marvel films that they might not take their time on because they're just going to flesh them out. But if they can take their time and really give some solid X-Men, that's going to bring in a lot of people back in because X-Men is such a huge property. That's been so hit and miss for years. Is that it's hard. It's had its long running series for years. It's been some great X-Men movies and some really trashy ones, and they can really solidify a brand new set of X-Men out here. So
I
I'm
honestly
curious.
think that with the X-Men movies, I know a lot of people will put First Class.
Yeah, I love
They'll
First Class.
put
Logan.
Logan. But I honestly, my favorite out of all those X-Men movies was Days of Future Past. Like I absolutely love
That one's up there
movie.
too. Yeah.
That
I
one
have a
was
question
fantastic.
for you guys about Days of Future Past. Do you remember what those robots were called? And then
Sentinels.
Peter Dinklage? Sentinels,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And do you remember like what company the Peter Dinklage was in charge of?
So actually, that character was, oh my god, I can't remember what his name is, but they recasted that character with Peter Dinklage, but it was played by somebody else in the previous movies. It wasn't Stryker. I can't remember what the name was. on his character, but it's actually that character's already appeared twice in the X-Men 20th Century timeline. The X-Men's the X-Men time is so jacked up. Like nobody really gives a shit. Like
Yeah, it's crazy. But
oh, is it? I can't remember. But the Sentinels
can't
were
remember either.
amazing.
But look, what I was thinking, I think the damage control might be the start of
That
like
company.
once mutants come out, it's gonna be
Yeah.
less damage control and more like mutant damage control.
I know
That's
that
how
character.
I was like thinking.
Is it Trask? I think it's Trask. That character not only wants to eliminate mutants, it's because in the comics and in the animated series he is the child of Mystique. So technically like Nightcrawler and I think Rogue, he's connected to all that. Which going from this, that's a great theory. I mean, I want to doubt Kevin Feige is thinking about that too. But going from the X-Men, we got to talk Captain Marvel. So here's the thing, guys. So they did introduce mutants. You know, they did put the mutant word out there. And here's the thing about that is that yes, Miss Marvel is a mutant, but people forget that Captain Marvel gets her powers stolen by Rogue in the X-Men. When Rogue was a villainess, and that's how Rogue gets her flying ability, gets a lot of her powers because of Captain Marvel. And then Captain Marvel goes into coma and all that stuff. So it kind of makes sense to bring in not only the mutants, I guess, in this episode, but also putting Carol Danvers in the cameo spot. But my question to you guys is, what does that cameo suggest? What do you think it's going to lead to? We did talk a little bit about the Bengals and the swapping, and that happens in the comics too. So what do you think this leads to when we finally get the Marvels?
The after credit scene? Sorry.
Yeah, the cameo with Carol
right.
Danvers.
I can tell you just the last time we saw Captain Marvel was the after credit scene of Shang-Chi. And I remember telling you from the beginning that I feel like the Bengal might be related to the Ten Rings. When the Bengal in the after credit scene was pulsing, I remember the 10 rings they said was sending a signal. I thought that's what the Bengal was doing at first, but then they switched spots, right? So I don't think it was that anymore. But they asked Captain Marvel, "You're out there, you're in space. Have you seen anything like this?" She says no. I think she might have been looking into the 10 rings. She saw an artifact that might have matched it. It's that Bengal. And that's why, like, maybe she grabbed it or something. She's trying to activate it. She activates it, switches spots with Miss Marvel somehow. I think that scene's directly from the movie, like probably 20 minutes into the movie or something. I don't think they just shot that for the show. I think they got it from the movie.
She has a different hairstyle, doesn't she?
Yeah.
From the movie into the cameo.
Well, in the Marvels movie is what I'm saying. I think is coming from.
Marvels. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a scene from the Marvels movie. Because
why was her suit so short? That's what I want to know.
I need to rewatch it because I didn't get a good look, but the suit looked different. I don't know what you mean by short, like because I heard she had short sleeves.
Yeah, it was very short sleeve. It looked like a little kid's kind of outfit, costume. Yeah,
that's what I felt.
I mean, it's a
Look
3/4 long sleeve. I have shirts that cut off right here, but I've never worn them.
Hers was like
it was just strange. It was just different. It was
very odd. It was odd. Yeah.
I felt that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch. It was like this Fortnite guy right here. You see, he got the little 3/4s right here.
Jesus.
She didn't have like that.
I don't know. I didn't really watch it.
What it looked like? It looked like because when she switches with Kamala, I thought she switched like bodies or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
It looked. That's what I thought too. It looked small on her. I didn't really see the costume to it. I thought
it's maybe a completely different costume. It's a completely
maybe she rolled up her sleeve to put the bangle on.
Yeah,
there was no sleeves on there. There was kind of an underneath.
It's just a costume choice.
You gotta check it out. The costume is very odd. Like it's like, dude, this is very weird.
Yeah,
it's probably just some I don't know. Maybe it's not her fighting costume. She might have more than one outfit, you know.
It's her going to planets costume.
It's her lounge. She might have been just lounging. Like who knows?
nightgown.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I think that scene's directly from the movie. And that's
supposed to come out
February of next year, unless it got pushed back. I believe, but it did get pushed back. I believe it got pushed back to February.
Okay.
I think originally it was going to come out in November this year, but then now that's Black Panther. I think that's what it is.
Black Panther does come out this year, huh?
Yeah.
That's in November.
There has not been a trailer. They're waiting for Comic-Con for sure.
Next week.
Comic-Con for sure.
So that's where I think that after credit scene's leading to. It's just a scene from the movie, because we're gonna see Miss Marvel there, so it's like to hype it up. And honestly, that was probably my favorite after credit scene from all the shows, because this is like the first time that the show's connecting right into a movie, you know. And that's
we don't know yet. We don't
no,
know
we do
yet.
know.
We don't know if that scene is an actual part of the movie.
Or we don't know that, but it's connecting straight into the movie.
It's connecting to the movie, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I like that, because that's what I always thought these shows were gonna be.
I mean, Yelena's scene that Black Panther connects to the show. You could also argue that connects to the movie too. Remember?
Yelena scene comes, but that's after the movie.
Well, if you're talking show to movie connection, WandaVision's been the one that's done it first. But actual end credit scene that connected it to the movie, that hints towards the movie. This is first.
But we actually saw the hero, and Doctor Strange. We all wanted to see Doctor Strange come out.
Wait, who's the hero?
Didn't. With the Captain Marvel, we saw Captain Marvel.
Carol Danvers is a hero?
Yeah, she is the hero.
She destroyed Blockbuster. She's no hero to me.
I'm sorry, Blockbuster.
Albert, I do not like that. You know what? I'm going to give her a chance. When we go to Miss Marvel, I'm going to give her a chance. I'm going to see if Brie Larson doesn't make me like want to just like.
You know what I think? I think that they took the criticism of Captain Marvel the same way they took the criticism for Thor, and they're going to completely revamp the character. I don't know if that's going a goofy way. No,
everyone did though.
The first two Thors are.
I never heard anybody dislike Thor.
You never heard.
I heard
Thor.
The movie, but Thor himself and Chris Hemsworth, I never heard anybody bash him.
Well, no. So, but
they were saying he had like no personality, and as soon as Thor Ragnarok came out, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, let's keep this Thor, the funny Thor."
No, I think Thor 2 was terrible. Thor 2 was really bad.
Bro, if you ask people what their favorite Avengers was, no one used to say Thor until Thor Ragnarok came out and Infinity
He's still
War.
Not my favorite Avengers. That's nobody's favorite Avengers.
More people rank him up top.
I'm about to say, you're wrong, Dan. There are people that have watched Ragnarok and that became their favorite Avenger.
I know a lot of
There's
people
always at least
love
one. There's always at least
movie.
one friend everyone has that loves Thor.
It was a change for the better, Ragnarok.
I agree. It just this last movie made him way more dumber.
Oh yeah, he was so stupid.
He was really stupid.
I think the Marvels though, it's gonna be the same thing. Like I think they're gonna change.
And I think you're right.
Maybe we'll see.
I think Miss Marvel could give that. Like I said, actually could give that personality that makes even Brie Larson more likable.
Was Doctor Strange just an extra episode of WandaVision?
No, that was a movie.
Yes.
Was
Doctor Strange just an extra episode? Well, he's saying like he viewed it as kind of like maybe he watched it. He viewed it as an extra.
Yeah.
Not really.
I mean, yeah, I see that. Just considering that it's her, like everything that happens in WandaVision correlates.
It is more of like Scarlet Witch's movie than Doctor Strange movie.
That's
because of the events that happened after WandaVision.
But that's never a bad thing, considering like the Dark Knight is more of a Joker movie than it is Dark Knight, and that's fine.
Yeah, I will say this. You know, there was a thing that came out that said that they were actually going to save Wanda from being the villain from Doctor Strange to later on as maybe the big baddie later on, and I think that would have been a better way to go, but I still liked what they did with her in the movie. But I agree that could have been that could have been more fleshed out, and he probably could have got more of why the book was like making her, bringing those emotions and making her more evil as time went.
Yeah,
they can still do that. Like,
I don't think she's dead. I don't think she's dead.
I don't think she's dead. They could still do it. we'll see what they do with her. They said she signed a contract to make more movies. I don't see why they would have her sign a contract to
She
make more movies
really
if that was her
wants
last
to
one.
recreate the comic scene where she says no more mutants. Like she's
Yeah, she could do
adamant.
that now.
She wants to do that. I think you remember saying. I remember hearing Michael Fassbender was like all on board on playing her dad and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, so the end credits of with Captain Marvel, it was just I don't know what the comic lore is, but I mean, I think we all saw it coming that she was gonna make that cameo for sure.
I didn't know. That was a
I didn't
complete
think about
shock
it.
to me.
I forgot.
I thought she
It
was.
made sense. It made sense when I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, of course. If anyone's
After
gonna make
Thor,
cameos,
after what happened with Wanda and what's his name, Doctor Strange, I didn't think so.
With so yeah, with Captain Marvel, the Marvels. I mean, like I said, I like Kamala. We'll see how it goes. Albert over here. This has been going on in the internet too. We might be getting Doctor Doom pretty soon.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is
what's that
coming.
actor that said he was talking to Marvel about playing him?
I heard Howard Stern was talking
Yeah.
about it.
What?
He's not an actor. He's a radio host.
No, I
That
heard
was
there was another
from-
actor who said he was in talks with Marvel about that. Or
Probably.
maybe.
I haven't heard any name attached to it.
That's a
but-
big one because man, they've done him twice in movies and he's been pretty bad in both. And he's such a huge villain with so much like to him in the comics. So that one I feel like they're gonna do a show or they're gonna do a movie with him. I think they'll give him his own time to kind of flesh him out and to like understand him. And he could definitely be a big bad of the MCU.
I think
I
they're
just
gonna
don't know
do
what
him
I know.
right.
You gonna do what?
I think they're gonna do him right. I don't think they're gonna make him a joke.
I think they have to just because of the fact that he hasn't had the
Yeah.
best representation in movies yet. Like if they're smart, they'll look into what's happened with him in the past and simply give like what the people want for Doctor
I don't
Doom.
think it's the worst. I mean, the most far-fetched one was the recent Fantastic Four movie,
yeah.
but it was kind of cool that
Oh.
he was blowing up people's heads. I
Yeah.
like that. But he wasn't
Mm.
Doctor Doom, honestly.
No.
No, I never saw that last one, but
It's so bad.
and I don't remember the first one, but I'm
love
still
the first
excited to see him. But yeah, everyone's been asking who's the next Thanos, who's the next big baddie. I think it's Doctor Doom. I'm
Could be
putting my
Dr.
money
Doom.
that it's him.
Well, with
Could be
I
Marvel,
think the
Doom.
man,
next Avengers movie will be against him.
I don't think it's going to be an Avengers movie.
You don't think there'll ever be another Avengers movie?
I think you're going to get Secret Wars, and I think you're going to get.
But yeah, they'll
I
they'll
mean,
throw
the-
Avengers in the title card. Avengers Secret Wars, because Avengers the name sells. That's
I
what gets you
guess,
the
yeah.
$2 billion.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like watching also, I'm gonna talk a little bit of Thor: Love and Thunder real quick. Right? Listen,
Spoilers.
spoilers on that. There's really nothing to spoil. It's a freaking Thor movie. There's not too
There's
many crazy
spoilers
things
there.
happening.
I was about to say, that's
All
pretty
right,
long.
spoilers. I don't know where Marvel like. I think people are also agreeing that like. I think Kevin Feige does have a plan when it comes to the multiverse thing, but then like, you're getting gods now, right? You're getting scrolls. You're getting all this other stuff, and I'm just like, where are we going?
Yeah.
Like at the end of Thor: Love and Thunder, and you're getting Hercules, which he's gonna be in the next Thor movie.
Yeah.
But then the idea of the gods coming down, because Russell Crowe's like, we're gonna make them remember, and like
Yeah.
we're getting that, and you're still getting Kang and Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania, and then I don't know, man. I don't know where the
Eternals.
hell this is going. I don't know. Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four is coming.
X Force coming. It is hard to tell what Marvel truly plans because you're right. It seems like they had the multiverse thing as like the big kind of but it's
the
also
big
like
storyline, right? The big storyline is
it
multiverse,
feels like
I think.
that's and I feel like that's where it's going, but it's hard to tell because there's so many. Every single movie and show they've done, which they've done more than almost any other phase, ends with something that leads somewhere else, and each show's leading to a different direction, and you're like, where are we going? Only
But
very
they
few
don't all have
times-
to connect.
They don't, and I agree. I'm the person that's like, I'm not like they don't all have to connect. They never always have connected. Marvel has done end credit scenes that led nowhere before, and at the end of the day, that's probably going to happen somewhere within all this stuff. Like the Scrolls could be left, like could not do really much in the MCU. They can just have their show or whatever, and kind of just go away. The Eternals, you know, they might say, nah, screw what we do with
I
them.
forgot about the Eternals, man.
Yeah, the Eternals
You
had such a
have-
big ending. That was they half of them disappeared with that big godlike.
That's Galactus type threats.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
Ariston's
whoa.
coming. He's coming for the judgment of Earth.
Yeah,
Okay,
And I don't
so
think
where does that
they
fit?
can't They can't just leave that, you know.
yeah.
Here's my main problem
It's
or
Eternals
concern.
too.
My main concern is like these are cool, badass storylines. Like I think the Galactus gods that storyline's cool, but then I think the Thor one's cool. The Thor one could be like a smaller one I could see, but Skrull
it
is a
in the
big
Marvel.
event in the comics. So like,
Yeah.
and then you got I think the multiverse is the biggest out of all of them because I really
Definitely.
do think they're gonna do Secret Wars for sure.
I think so.
It's gonna be a crazy like. You're gonna see all your variants come into that big Avengers movie.
That'd be cool.
I'm excited though.
But like, I don't know, man. I just
It's gonna take time though. I mean, at the end of the day, like
Yep.
if they want Secret Wars to be anything like Endgame was what 10 years of work of movies and a ton like 23, 24 movies all put
Yeah.
together to get there. It's like it's gonna take time, you know. And
The first Infinity Stone was, I think, in Captain America. So
Yeah.
2010, 2011, and then we
Yeah.
got Infinity War 7 years later. The
Yeah.
first mention of the multiverse, like actual multiverse, it was like last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So there's still like 5 years until that payoff can happen. There's no need to rush it. Like, we don't need answers of how is this going to connect right now.
yeah,
Watch it play out, you know?
yeah.
all right, I'll leave it to this one question. How do you guys feel about Phase 4 right now? Do you think it's a really it's been great, it's been fantastic, or do you think it's been kind of like unbalanced, or do you think there's been good balance for these movies and shows so far in Phase 4? Because we're still in Phase 4. We're still going into Phase 4 next year too.
Yep. I think the end of next year is the end of Phase 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it working for you guys? What are your thoughts
like-
on this?
I feel like with every phase, there's been movies that I've been like, all right, this movie, but there's been those other movies in Marvel that are like awesome, that keep me interested, that are like great. Every phase has had that, so I think every phase has had that balance of just there's that origin story, basic story with movie, and then there's the really good one that really surprised us or came out of nowhere, or big event one that was awesome and amazing. And this phase has had all of that. It's just been so bigger that it feels kind of off center because I feel like we've had more of the kind of middle ground movies that make it just like these are like decent. Like there's a good origin story with Shang-Chi. It was a solid movie. Nothing blew me out of the water, but it was solid. It was fun to watch. You know, we've had our kind of stinkers, which I think Black Widow is kind of there. Falcon and the Winter Soldier's there. And then we've had the really like great ones, which was to me Spider-Man No Way Home was that Endgame level. Holy crap! This is why we love Marvel. And of course, it's been really hit and miss. Like the reviews have been going down for them, really bad in this phase. And I
Yeah.
think it hit the big ones. It hit Thor and it hit Doctor Strange, which you didn't.
I think it started with Eternals, honestly.
Eternals was the first bad one, yeah. But you could expect that with a new property. But man, with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness hitting the reviews and being like people really not caring for it besides like us. and then Thor Love and Thunder is like, yeah, it's okay. Like everyone's like, it's just, you know. So it's been a weird ride. But I don't think it's bad. I don't hate it like a lot of people have been kind of shitting on it. I think it's doing fine. I still like Marvel. I don't think it's pushed me away from Marvel too much. It's been a lot. It's just been a lot. Yeah.
I like Phase 4. I think after how serious and how like crazy Phase 3 was, Phase 4 didn't have to get crazier. If anything, going more chill is the right thing to do.
I agree.
being less serious. The way I view it is a setup phase, an intermission phase between the next, because like the first three phases is the Infinity Saga. What's the next saga? Probably Multiverse Saga, right? But so this is the setup for that. Like this is phase one. You know, like in a way.
Yeah.
So I see,
think-
yeah, the setup as an intermission to what's
Yeah.
to come.
I
The
think this is
show,
partly Marvel just throwing out things to see what works and what can stick, and they'll go along and try to at least hopefully that's what they're. Sorry, Mark, Albert.
yeah, the shows, you know, this is their first time doing shows like Marvel Studios shows. I think that they're going to continue to be 6 episodes long until the rest of Phase 4. I think Phase 5, that's when they'll like hopefully change it up, right? I think they will. I feel like even the people that love the shows will probably say that they feel like they should be longer, because I say that, yeah. I like the shows like a lot. But Loki should have been longer. Miss Marvel, Hawkeye should have been longer. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's to come. I'm happy with what they put out. All the movies, none of them have let me down. Like honestly, the only thing that let me down was Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was just so uninteresting to me. And I feel like the two heroes, Falcon and Winter Soldier, like they didn't really develop too much. But don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see Captain America 4. When that comes out, I believe it's part of Phase 5, because, well, I don't know, we'll see. There'll be more answers and more questions after San Diego Comic-Con next weekend, because I fully believe that they're going to announce the next lineup of movies, because we already caught up to the big reveal of Phase 4 when they announced it like 2-3 years ago. After having watched Thor: Love and Thunder, there's nothing after that. Like we're caught up, so we're due for the next timeline.
They're gonna reveal the timetable for the X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I see them releasing the timeline. So it's gonna start with Black Panther, because that's still to come this year. All of 2024 and all of 2025, and maybe like half of 2026. So we're gonna get
X-Men.
We're gonna get cast. Do you think we're gonna get like Fantastic Four casting, or like do you think that's going to be anytime soon?
Yeah, actually, I do. I
maybe,
think
yeah.
it's been a
Fantastic
while.
Four, yeah.
It's been a while for them to go looking for the cast already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they lost a director, so they would have been like
Mhm.
already set to go. They're trying to
Sure.
find a director, and the rumor is that Steven Spielberg might come on board.
Dang,
Damn.
that'd be crazy. That'd be
a good
interesting.
pick. You still
Yeah.
need a solid script though. You need a solid script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my boy. That's my number one director, Steven Spielberg. But we even know he makes kind of stinkers
Yeah.
sometimes too.
Yeah.
What can we
like-
say this about Phase 4 is done really at least good with it's getting better with letting directors kind of do what they want to do with their shows and adding their own flavor to it. That's something even like Thor: Love and Thunder that I didn't love. Again, at the end of the day, that was Taika Waititi's kind of.
I heard that
Comedy.
they made him cut that 2 hours. They said
I heard that too.
Bob
I heard that too.
Chapek said
Yeah.
2 hours.
Screw that
He
guy.
didn't-
Bob Chapek's
he
ruining
got
Disney.
renewed. He got renewed. He's on it for another
Yeah.
2 or 3
makes
years.
It makes sense. I feel like it got cut a lot.
I
It
love
felt
how
like
you
it
put
did get
that,
cut
Albert, though.
to keep it right under 2 hours. But before you go, Dan, let me just say what Chase said. I absolutely agree. Because I was thinking that the other day too. I just forgot right now until he mentioned it. My favorite thing about Phase 4, they're not afraid to take risk. That was a big criticism in the first 3 phases, that it's the same formula. Could it still be the same formula? Maybe, right? But they're taking risks. They're not afraid, and they're not all gonna hit. And maybe not all of them have been hitting. Like maybe a majority haven't been hitting, but I feel like they've been taking risks. And who knows? Maybe Phase 5 they'll go back to not taking that many risks. But for me, Phase 4, I love that they're taking risks. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
I do love how you put the this phase being like the intermission, because that's what it kind of feels like. That's probably right on the money right there. To me, it just kind of like feels stale. They're taking risk on directors, which is cool. I like that. It's just I think they need to really kind of like. I think they got to look into some writers, man. like the writing teams on the shows and movies, like they need to. I think okay, I agree with you. Risk on directors, like think is great because visionary and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the writing, they don't. They should not like have the director if they do not have good writing experience. Overlook that. Taika Waititi did some of the writing for Thor: Love and Thunder, but compare that with Thor: Ragnarok, which he did the same. I just felt like he was maybe a little bit uninspired this time around. I'm gonna still watch this stuff. I just think it's getting a little stale. I think there is. I think I'm looking forward to like an underdog like DC, even though they put out like they try so hard to catch up to Marvel. But I think I text you on this one too, Albert. I think they're the little engine that could. So they're the guys that still haven't proved anything, while Marvel has proved everything. And I think no proving everything, you think that I could sit back and I could do some things not as 100%. I mean, hell, NFL players, basketball players do the same thing. They don't go 100% sometimes. But when it comes to DC, I'm kind of looking forward to that content just to see if they're gonna, because they're really like swinging. Yeah, Black Adam. You have the Flash still coming out. The one thing I like about that DC is they postponed instead of rushing that shit out because they failed on Justice League and everything. They're pushing it back to finish off a lot of the CGI, which Marvel should be doing, but they're not doing. But like I said, there is movies out there with Marvel that I'm looking forward to. Black Panther 2, I need to see a trailer. I would like to see how they handle that. Blade is my jam. I want to see if Morbius makes appearance.
No.
And then, Spider-Man, I think we all agree that we want to see where this character is going to go after No Way Home. Now knowing that he's the true like he's in prime Spider-Man mode now. The stories that can come out of this. I don't know what the hell Sony's doing. Oh my God. And then also like, yeah, I don't even, oh my God. But I'm looking forward to see. I think you're absolutely right. We're gonna have some bomb drops with Comic-Con. Guarantee X-Men's gonna be announced. The release date on that at least. Fantastic Four casting. I think you're right, Chase, on that one. You're gonna get a lot of Black Panther promotional. Neymar is one of the villains in there, so we'll see, guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's stale to me, but that doesn't mean like Marvel can't come out with a movie that's going to hit you right in the mouth and you didn't expect to be that good. I mean, I don't know. Ms. Marvel's might be good. Ms. Marvel's might fix, like you said, fix some of the things that Captain Marvel did wrong, in my opinion, in our opinion. So, but
they got a new director for it, right?
Yes, I believe so. And they got a new director for, oh my God, someone got hired on. Who was it? There's been a lot of directors being signing with a lot, both DC and Marvel. So, and then, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. I think, of course, what's the next show? She-Hulk?
The next show is She-Hulk, followed by Groot, followed by...
The Christmas
I don't know
special.
what's after that.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Christmas special. Yeah, but I feel like there's going to be one before that. And then the next movies are the Marvels. Black Panther in November. The Marvels next year. And also Ant-Man Quantumania and Volume 3 of Guardians. So
and Loki 2 is filming already. So
yep, Loki 2 is filming. So we'll see that next year. Also, What If? But I can tell you from the movies, I am looking forward to those 4 movies a lot. They're all sequels, right? Yeah, they're all sequels. It's the second and the third movies of these franchises.
That's how it was?
Yeah. All right.
All right, we're going to end it right here. So, yeah, until we talk more Marvel, man, I want to thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, everybody who was watching. Thank you, KT. Lethal.
Probably talk about it after Comic-Con if you want.
We'll talk about the major drops, and then I think Sony might be there, so Sony might have some major drops on Spider-Man. You know, I love me
Cool,
some Spider-Man
cool.
content.
Hey, you were gonna get that trailer for Craven with your boy Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I don't even want to talk about that. All right, guys.
Wrestling. I want Bad Bunny wrestling.
Oh Jesus.
They're
Spider-Man
about
across
to-
the universe, though. Spider-Man across the universe.
They're about to say that they're gonna scrap the new Spider-Verse movie for more
Nah,
Morbius.
yeah, right. It's Morbin time.
Morbid
All right,
time
guys.